My ambitious and responsible Capricorn friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. A Capricorn, something in the air this week feels unsettled, though it offers no loud warnings or obvious alarms. Maybe in small moments you feel the tug of two different needs inside you. There is a delicate tension, just beneath the surface, between keeping all your responsibilities afloat and wondering if you might be losing sight of your own center. It isn't stress exactly, more a persistent question. Can you keep giving so much and still feel whole? The outer world keeps moving, asking for your steady hand, yet a quieter part of you wants to pause, to breathe, to listen. Even if no one else can see it, the effort of balancing all this weighs on you. There is pride in your ability to handle it, but sometimes pride can feel lonely too. You may notice the smallest details, an unread message, a half-finished thought coming back to you at night. There's a longing for things to make sense, for every part to fit. But this week, there's also a sense that something is shifting, even if you don't know what it is just yet. You stand right now at a kind of crossroads, even if it is mostly internal. The world asks a lot of you, and you answer with resilience. The Two of Pentacles appears quietly in your week, almost like a mirror, reflecting the subtle acrobatics you do each day. Outwardly, you juggle work, family, obligations, and those countless little tasks that keep life moving forward. Others might see only your calm exterior, but you know how much effort it takes to keep things in motion. There's an art to the way you balance, one foot in the practical world, one foot in your own mind. Sometimes it feels like you're dancing on shifting ground, adjusting to each new request, each unexpected twist. Underneath that practicality, though, lies a quieter emotional current. You may not speak of it often. It's the feeling that, even as you keep everything together, you long for a moment to exhale, to set something down, even briefly. You hold tension in your shoulders, a low-level fatigue from carrying so much for so long. There's pride in how far you've come and how much you've handled, but sometimes in the quieter hours, you wonder what it would feel like to let one responsibility go, or to say no without guilt. The world feels busy and you move with it, but there's a wish for gentler rhythms, for a chance to check in with yourself more honestly. You are not lost, but you are stretched, reaching for a sense of ease that feels just out of reach. This week you may notice those moments of inner questioning growing a little louder, asking you what truly matters most to you right now. It is out of this delicate balancing act, the constant movement between your responsibilities and your inner voice, that the path ahead begins to reveal itself. The desire for steadiness, for control, is real, but so is the quiet urge to step outside the swirl of demands and see what remains when you pause. The inner tension isn't just something to overcome, it's a signal. The more you notice the places where you feel stretched thin, the more you might start to wonder what it would feel like to slow down, to listen to your own needs for once. This is not weakness. It is simply the natural effect of living with care and intention for so long. The path that opens before you this week is shaped by the very questions you are holding inside. How much is enough? What do you actually want beyond what is expected of you? These are quiet questions, but they shape the way you move through the days ahead, inviting you to consider what would happen if you answered them honestly. Your path forward this week is marked by a subtle, persistent invitation to turn inward. The hermit steps quietly onto the scene, not with drama or fanfare, but with a gentle gravity. There's a sense that external pressures, deadlines, conversations, a calendar filled with promises, are pressing in, but beneath all that noise, you are being nudged to find your own light. The world keeps asking for your time and energy, but something within you wants to step outside the usual pace, even for a moment, to listen to yourself more deeply. It's not that you've become withdrawn or aloof, it's more that you feel the weight of everything you carry, and you recognize the need for a pause. This week, the friction comes from trying to be present for everyone and everything, while sensing that your own clarity is waiting somewhere quieter. Maybe you find yourself lost in thought during a meeting, or taking the long way home just to have a moment alone. There is pressure to keep moving, but a growing urge to reflect, to make sense of all the choices before you. You may notice that the usual ways of coping with stress don't feel as effective now. The world's demands haven't lessened, but your patience for constant busyness may be wearing thin. The hermit's influence doesn't ask you to abandon your commitments, but it does invite you to move through the week with more awareness of your own needs. The friction you feel is not a sign that something is wrong, but rather that you are on the cusp of seeing your life from a new, more honest vantage point. The more you allow yourself even brief moments of solitude, the more you may notice what truly matters to you right now. Potential doesn't simply arrive on its own, it asks to be met with presence. The opportunity for deeper connection, for something more meaningful, is shaped by your willingness to pause and reflect. If you move through the week on autopilot, the chance for real growth remains hidden. But when you notice the friction, when you let yourself feel both the pressure and the desire for space, you open a window. The hermit's quiet pull isn't about withdrawing from life, but about returning to it with greater intention. Only by acknowledging the inner questions, the longing for balance and meaning, can you create the conditions for something new to emerge. This path isn't about dramatic change, but about conscious engagement with what is already unfolding. The potential that waits for you does not come from ignoring your needs, but from meeting them with gentleness and honesty. When the moment is met with intention, the lovers step forward, not as a promise of romance, but as a symbol of genuine connection. This is the week where your potential lies in discovering the richness that comes from choosing with your whole self, rather than out of habit or obligation. The lover's presence marks a threshold, the possibility of aligning your actions with your values, your relationships with your true needs. Growth here is not about adding more to your plate, but about moving toward what feels right, even if it means letting go of something familiar. There is an invitation to look at the connections in your life, within yourself and with others, and to see where you are acting out of duty and where you are acting out of real desire. If you allow yourself to notice what feels nourishing and to move toward it, you may find that the sense of strain begins to soften. The invitation is not to fix everything, but to bring a little more honesty and care to the choices you make each day. This could mean a quiet conversation, a gentle boundary, or simply the permission to rest when you need it. What becomes possible is not perfection, but a deeper sense of belonging in your own life, in your own skin. The lovers remind you that you are allowed to choose what supports you, to seek out what feels most alive. This is not a guarantee of ease, but a doorway into a more authentic way of being, where your actions and your heart are not at odds. The story of your week is one of quiet courage. The Two of Pentacles shows the careful balancing act you perform, holding together what is needed and what is wanted. The Hermit brings a gentle pause, asking you to notice the space between all you do and all you long for. The lovers offer the chance to choose connection, not out of obligation, but out of genuine alignment. There is no rush, no demand for instant answers. Instead, you are invited to move through these days with a little more curiosity, a little less pressure. The world will always have expectations, but you are allowed to check in with yourself, to notice where you feel stretched, and to consider what would bring you back to center. In this space you may find clarity, not in grand gestures, but in the small, honest acts that honor your limits and your hopes. This week, trust that it is enough to notice, to pause, to move forward with care. Every small moment of self-awareness is a step toward a life that feels more like your own. Even as the world keeps spinning, you can find steadiness, not by doing more, but by being a little more present to what is true for you. In that there is relief. In that there is quiet strength. Actionable insights for Capricorn this week. You could gently try letting one task wait until you feel ready instead of pushing through. You might allow yourself a few minutes alone to check in with how you're really feeling, even if nothing seems urgent. You could see what it's like to share a simple truth with someone you trust, without expecting a particular response. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to move at my own pace. Every feeling is welcome, even the quiet ones. My choices matter, even the small ones. I trust myself to find balance again. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.